Welcome to the OC, Valentine. Bitch.
What you say?
I told you that it's time to start the show.
That you only meant well.
Yeah, the show's gonna do
Of
well.
course you did. What you say?
I said let's go.
That it's all for the best.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like the best podcast.
What you say?
God, do I have to keep repeating myself?
That's just what we need. You decided this.
Hold up, I
What
thought we
you
both
say?
decided to do this.
What did she say?
I said let's start the show.
Hey everyone, welcome to Whatcha Say, an OC podcast. My name is Elise Daly.
And I'm Scott Daly.
Together,
We're the Dailies. Yes, this is the podcast where each and every week we have some really awkward sex and then discuss the hit 2000s teen drama, The OC.
No.
This week, Season 1, Episode 19, The Heartbreak.
But before we get into this episode, we're going to have a little break here and Scott's going to get a little talking to.
See, Elise, that line has been written into the script for over a week now. So if you had just checked the script once, you would know that was coming. And you could have told me, Scott, you can't do that joke. That's a bad joke. But, you know, silence
I guess that's
is
what I get.
approval to me. So
Yeah. Didn't even say, hey, Elise, why don't you read through this? Nope.
I think it's assumed that you should read through the script before we start the podcast.
No,
I don't know. In my
no.
opinion.
Nope. Okay, well, it's time for everyone's favorite section, for the Rosies and Thornies.
Every rose has its thorn.
Has its thorn.
Just like every night has its dawn.
Dawn, dawn, dawn.
Every cowboy sings a sad song. Every rose has its thorn. Yeah. Jesus.
It's a part of the podcast where Scott and I, we look back on the week, technically 2 weeks now, and we talk about the good, the bad, the rosies, and the thornies. We're going to start out, as always, with the bad.
Yeah.
So, Scott, over the past 2 weeks, what has been your thorn?
I guess we should start with that. We should have talked about how we took last week off.
Yeah, we did take last week off.
You were just so flabbergasted by my just incredible sense of humor that you couldn't focus on the things we need to do. My thorn
Why
is...
don't you write it in the script?
What?
That we should have talked about it.
You're right. I should have written it in the script, but this was the script I prepared a week ago, so I didn't update it. Also, why my thorn is my thorn that was last week, which is Star Wars. Hey, remember when a few weeks ago my rose was Star Wars? Because like there were so many cool Star Wars things happening, and I was so excited. I was playing the video game. I was watching The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
The new movie was coming out, and I was like so excited about it. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then the movie came out, and it was real bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was real bad.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's a real bad movie, and that's a thorn because I want to love these movies. I want to love every single movie I see, especially Star Wars. And I didn't. It was so stupid. It was so bad.
There have been better.
There have, yeah. The one before it. The best one.
Don't know if it was the best one, but it was better than that one.
That's easily better. Easily. So yeah, that's my thorn.
Okay.
Is I'm sad about Star Wars. And for an update, the writer of that movie, Chris Terrio, who also wrote Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Are we surprised at why this movie is so bad? No. But he's been doing a lot of interviews lately explaining all his choices. And his explanations are dumb.
Really bad?
They're really bad.
Does it point to the fact that he hadn't really paid attention to any of the stories from the other previous movies?
No, not that he hadn't paid attention, but just that he
didn't care.
Well, it's just that I think this feels mean to say this, but like he didn't get it. It's not that he didn't pay attention to it; it's just he didn't get it. Or it doesn't seem like he got it based on his answers to these questions. And I mean, we're all going to have disagreements about Star Wars for the end of time. Everyone has an opinion. But I think one thing that this movie has done is brought everyone together to say in one voice, Chris Terrio, stop doing press. Stop it. So that's my thorn. What's yours?
The press or the
all of it.
movies?
Just all of it, babe.
All
just
of it.
fucking...
Anything that has Star Wars in the name for right now is a thorn?
I think it's time for star piece. I really do.
Bad joke. Bad joke, Scott.
Just do your thorn. Just do your thorn.
My thorn is the fact that we have a puppy who's recovering from surgery and she's just so pitiful. And I hated taking her in and giving her away. And now she's going to think that I'm a horrible person because I left her there.
No, she's not.
And I let them take something from her body and then throw it away.
So our dog got spayed today, actually, this morning.
She's sitting in the couch.
She is sleeping on our couch right now. She's very tired. She's got a little cone on and she's very tired because she's recovering from surgery. Yeah, it's rough. I did not realize, that you'd never gone through this before.
I told you, it had been a very long, long time.
I mean, it's been a long time for me, too. It's been 7 years.
But the dog was not my dog whenever it happened.
You didn't have to actually take care of the dog. You weren't responsible for the dog.
And that dog was 14 years old.
I was at work today. You had to take the dog in. You had to pick the dog up. So it was just you. It was just you and poor little Penny.
Yeah, you just left me by myself to do all the hard work on my own.
I gotta go work, babe. You didn't have to do the hard work. The vet had to do the hard work.
That's her job. That's her going to work today.
Yeah. But the puppy is fine. She's recovering. She'll be, back to full energy mode tomorrow morning, probably.
Hope.
She'll be fine, babe. She's just sleeping it off. Look at her. She's just asleep over there in the corner. It's actually like the easiest podcast recording time we've had since we got this puppy because she's just knocked out. So there we go.
I did not plan that.
No, I knew, but it's okay.
But Scott likes that happened.
I do. I am enjoying it. So that's your thorn. Puppy's okay.
Yeah.
Could be a rose too that she made through the surgery just fine because you were very nervous.
She did.
Because you're a sweet lady who is so worried about their little puppy because you love her.
Yes, I love my dog.
Oh, she's moving.
No, she's not. She's
her
just
leg just moved. She heard you talking about her. Elise, what's your rose?
I just talked about my thorn.
Oh, you just got to be able to just...
I'm off for 2 weeks. That's my rose.
You're in week 2 of being off for 2 weeks.
I'm in week 2. It's been nice.
Has it?
It's nice to have the holidays at the beginning of the break. That way you get to enjoy the rest of them afterwards. That's the problem with Thanksgiving break, It's like you have all that time beforehand. And it's building up to the holiday that's on Thursday. And then after that, it's just over before you know it.
That's true. I don't get holidays off. I get 2 days.
That's a bummer. You chose the wrong profession, buddy.
I know. I'm switching. I'm going to be a teacher now.
Okay.
Let your principal know. I'll start Monday.
And that's not, you're not certified.
I'm starting Monday.
You're not certified.
I figure, books. They're not that hard. Words. I can read them. I assume it's apple. Got it.
What grade do you want to teach?
College.
College. Okay.
To teach them how to read.
So you gotta. They know how to read when they're in college, Scott.
What is the symbol of the apple that you can read?
Scott. Oh, Penny's moving. She doesn't like what you're talking about.
Can we move on to my rose now?
What's your rose?
My rose is, again, this was from a week ago, but I still like it here. Your last weekend before Christmas, your sisters came up because they came up a little early and they spent the entire weekend at our place, basically. We hung out Friday.
Friday we saw Star Wars. Yeah. We forgot about that.
We hung out Saturday and Sunday night with them. And I just thought that was a lot of fun, especially Sunday. Sunday we all stayed up late. I still had to go to work. You guys were off. Good for you.
Yep.
We stayed up late. We watched, what did we watch? Something.
What did we
watch? A movie.
Watch?
Was it good
Instant
or was
Family.
it? Yeah, we watched
it. Was really good.
It's a good movie. And then we watched a Christmas movie, I think. We just hung out. We drank wine. It was just relaxing. It was a lot of fun.
Wine and cookies. That's what you get when it's the Rimmer Girls.
We had lots of cookies. We talked about what our next marathon thing is going to be because we did that Lord of the Rings marathon. And so we're planning our next one. It was just a good time.
Reeves.
I like hanging out with your sisters. They're fun.
Pretty fun.
They're fun.
I agree. They'd like to hear that.
So that's my rose.
Okay.
That's it. We're done.
And so next week we're going to be talking about...
No.
I think I've made that joke before.
You have. Yeah. Who's
Maybe it was last week.
Who's got the lame jokes now, Elise?
So this week we're talking about episode 19, The Heartbreak.
Okay, tell me about episode 19, The Heartbreak.
So The Heartbreak was written by creator Josh Schwartz and directed by Lev L. Spiro. This is his first of 2 episodes in the director's chair. It originally aired on February 18th, 2004. It is, if you cannot tell by the title and the air date, the Valentine's Day episode.
Yeah, the OC loves its holiday episodes, and Valentine's Day is no exception. Here's the summary, again, not written by us, but from the OC wiki. On Valentine's Day, everyone is preparing for the Valentine's Singles benefit dance. Luke has a new crush, that being Marissa's mother, Julie. Meanwhile, Sandy gives Seth some sex advice over his dating of Summer. Teresa Diaz, an old friend of Ryan's, shows up in town as part of the catering service for the benefit, which forces Marissa to lay her feelings on the table that her breakup with Ryan may have been a mistake. Also, Seth and Summer take their friendship to another level.
Yeah, they do. I don't know if they call it a friendship from here on out.
I think it's a relationship. When P is going in the V, it's not a friendship anymore.
Or it's just one with benefits.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yep. Okay, so...
What's your overall thoughts on the Heartbreak? What'd you think of it?
I love all the holiday episodes, and I love this episode. It's just prime Sandy Cohen, Seth Cohen.
Sandy Cohen is...
It's just the best.
On fire in this episode. I like this episode because Kirsten Cohen finally gets her holiday. Everyone else got their holiday. Thanksgiving. Christmas. Was there a Halloween episode? Halloween. No. Now it's finally time for Kirsten Cohen to get hers.
It's true.
Both literally and figuratively.
Yep. She did.
So I like this one a lot too. It was a good episode. We watched it like 3 times because we were all prepared to do this episode last week, and then we just flat ran out of time. We were hosting Christmas at our place, and we just ran out of time to record. So the script was all done. We had watched it, and so we had to watch this episode again yesterday before we recorded. So I've seen this episode like 3 or 4 times.
But you love it.
I do. I enjoy it.
Each
It makes me laugh.
You enjoyed it more and more.
All right, let's jump right into the beat by beat.
Okay.
Remember when you tried to come up with a theme song for that?
Beat by beat by beat by beat. Yep.
Every time I say beat by beat, I think that now. You've ruined it for me forever.
Beat by beat by beat by beat. Penny doesn't like it. So, okay. Before we actually dive into what happens on this episode, we have to talk about how the previously ons for really this show, but then there's also other shows too. It's not like I'm sorry, I'm going to go into my Bachelor tangent.
Ugh.
Not just the previously on, but the coming up this week on. And then they really just show you the whole thing that's going to happen in the 2 minutes that they have at the very beginning. And then it's like, why watch the show?
Well, that's just a completely different complaint. So you just use this as a springboard to talk about something that's not this.
Well, it's just giving away too much. That's what I'm talking about.
The previously ons and everyone that has
and
watched...
the coming up on The Bachelor.
No,
they give away too much.
Everyone that watches the previously ons on any network television show ever will know that they do these things like previously on the OC, and then they'll pick these random important moments that matter to the plot. For example, in this episode, we see the time where Ryan met with Teresa again. So now we know Teresa's going to be in this episode. We see the point where Jimmy and Haley kiss for the first time on the steps of the Coens' house, and then so we know this is going to be a Jimmy Haley episode, which is weird because like they do this kind of fake mystery thing where Jimmy gets some cookies from
those peanut butter kiss cookies.
Yeah, from
you like those cookies?
Yeah, I do. I love those cookies, but they play it off as a mystery, like who sent Jimmy these cookies. And like the previously on is Haley. Like it makes it very clear. Who's it going to be? Well, they brought Haley back. Like, for example, I think Oliver is going to come back on the show. Let me make that prediction right now. I don't think the show is done with Oliver, but there's going to be an episode of the show we watch where it's going to be like previously on, and it's going to show Oliver when we haven't seen him on the show in a few weeks. And I'm going to immediately know this is the episode where Oliver comes back. And I hate those things. I wish there was a skip the previously on buttons. Even on the DVD, they do them.
It's called fast forward.
Yeah, I know, but I'm lazy. So,
well, yeah.
And rant.
Yeah. Okay. So we open this episode and we know that it is Valentine's Day because Kirsten's going around shooting people with a Nerf Cupid arrow.
She's got a little Nerf bow and arrow.
Because she's so excited.
Yeah.
But Sandy's not that excited. And it's kind of sad.
And they're mean about it too. Like Sandy goes on his whole like, this is just a corporate holiday for Hallmark and Hershey's, blah, blah, blah. Which, yeah, that's true. But guess what? It's America.
Yeah.
Every holiday is a corporate holiday.
And I like flowers on Valentine's Day.
I know.
And nice dinners.
I know.
And
And I get all
chocolates.
those things for you, baby.
Thank you.
And guess where we're going this year on Valentine's Day?
Where?
We're going to go see Sonic the Hedgehog out February 14th.
No.
Babe.
No.
But it's
I only want to go on a
Valentine's
date
Day.
with you and not with Sonic the Hedgehog on Valentine's Day.
Going on a date with Sonic the Hedgehog is basically going on a date with me.
No.
Hey, Elise, what do
Yeah.
you think of Kirsten's pretty pink suit?
I think it is wonderful.
Do you like dressing up for holidays?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you're a costume person. We've established this.
Yes.
Do you wear pink on Valentine's Day?
Yeah, we get to wear pink or red with jeans.
Oh, you know what you need to do? You're a assistant principal now.
Yeah.
No more jeans.
I know I have.
You need to get a suit.
I
and
have
it
2
needs
pairs
to
of
be-
pink pants.
You got to wear them on Valentine's Day, baby.
I almost got the matching blazer and would have had a pink suit, but I didn't.
Don't you have a pink blazer?
It's not. It doesn't
It's like
match.
hot pink.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
like,
different color
boom.
pink than my pants.
Sorry. This
It's
has nothing to
okay.
do with the OC.
It's okay. Everyone needs a really nice pink suit.
I agree. Everyone.
Harry Styles has one.
Yeah.
It's for everyone.
If Harry Styles has one,
And Scott needs one.
I mean, he's got style in his name.
He does. Okay, so we're gonna move on. So, after the California song,
No,
California, what? I skipped over the Valentine's Day gala, but we already talked about that.
No, we didn't.
Well, you mentioned it in the summary.
There's
It's
a big gala Kirsten is excited for. And the important part, the reason why I didn't want to just skip over this is because it expresses the theme of this week's episode, which is everyone just wanting things to go back to normal. That's what this episode is about. We're post Oliver. Everyone just wants everything to go back to normal. But some people aren't ready for that yet.
Nope. California.
There you go.
Here we come.
There you go.
Once more. Okay, so
Wait, what?
because I already sang it once.
Oh.
God. Always have to explain the jokes to you. You never get it right the first time. So Ryan's back at school.
They're not good.
After the dean lifted his suspension. Yeah. I don't know.
What is wrong with you?
I can't read today. So he bumps into Marissa and it's really awkward.
It's super awkward.
Yeah. Why is it so awkward, Scott?
Marissa once again repeats the theme of the episode, talking about how she wants everything to just go back to normal. But Ryan doesn't seem like he's ready for things to go back to normal. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Nobody wants to hear me whine about the plot of the show for 45 minutes.
Okay. So you're just going to do
So I'm
it.
going to do it one time. And then
60 seconds?
No, not even that. I'm not even going to take 60 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
I think it's stupid
30?
that the whole point of this plot line is that Ryan did nothing wrong and everyone else did everything else wrong, and therefore Ryan is not ready to forgive anyone, where really it should be that everyone's not really ready to forgive each other. And I think that's stupid, and I wish the plot wasn't doing that, but I accept that that is where we're going, that Ryan is basically came out of this whole thing looking like the one that was right and therefore did nothing wrong, and therefore he's not ready to forgive.
10.
I'm done. I'm done.
Oh,
I think
you did it in 20.
It's stupid. I don't like it, but we're going to move on. We're going to move on. End of rant.
That would have been another 10 seconds, and you made me stop counting down before.
Yeah, because I didn't like the counting down because it was pressure. It was
but-
pressure.
You would have gotten it fine. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on because my girl Summer is playing one of my favorite video games. Summer and I can play these because Summer and I, we're what we call gamers, Scott. We're really good at the video games.
Elisa's such a
and
gamer.
We're really good at the reading of comics.
Yeah, you love video games and
See, like,
comics.
Summer really is into Betty and Veronica, and I'm super into Paper Girls, and
It's the same.
you know, Summer and I are practically the same people.
The similarities are remarkable.
Astonishing,
Like,
yes.
It really just
Yes.
cements my decision to marry you. I
I
just
know.
look at you,
And
I
you're
look
like,
at Summer,
I got
and I'm
Summer.
like, if I can't marry her, I guess I'll settle for my wife.
Settle? No.
Win the lottery, baby. It's like I
No.
got the high score in Galaga with you.
Aw, thanks, babe. Yeah. So, Seth lets Summer know that Anna and him broke up,
Mhm.
and he tries to ask her out.
And Summer is not happy with that.
No.
She doesn't want to be his sloppy seconds, which
No.
fair. I mean, to come to someone and say, "Hey, I broke up with that girl I've been dating. Now I can date you."
Doesn't bode
I wouldn't.
well
I
for
wouldn't
women.
like that either. I wouldn't be happy with that
no,
either.
No, me either. And so we're going to go and talk to someone else who's not happy. Kirsten.
It's not as good of a
I know,
transition
it
as
wasn't
last
as
week.
I was trying. I hadn't read the script before. He goes to meet Kirsten for some crab cakes because who doesn't love a good crab cake?
Sandy, like, being obsessed with food is like a trend in this show, but especially in this episode.
Well, yeah, he's opening up a
I
restaurant.
feel like he's eating in every single scene. There's a scene where he just like walks into a room where Kirsten's making a bouquet of flowers, and he just goes into the fridge and like pulls out I don't even know what it is. It's meat. It's meat wrapped in paper, and he just opens it up and grabs a piece.
I'm choosing to believe it's prosciutto.
Because
otherwise I don't want to think that he's eating raw meat.
It kind of like I want it to be prosciutto as well.
Maybe smoked salmon.
It could be salmon. Yeah.
It has to be one of those two.
Anyway, he's eating a whole bunch, and he's really excited about these crab cakes. But they get in an argument about Valentine's Day.
Yeah. And I don't remember anything else from that scene.
They just argue. The scene is just them arguing. Like, they just go on a tirade of arguing where it's just nonsense. Like, I supported you doing this. I supported you doing this. I put up with your dad. I put up with your job changes. Like, then he talks about how she snores, and Kirsten gets very upset about the accusation of snoring.
Women don't snore.
Yeah, they do, baby.
Only
You
if
don't
you're
snore.
sick.
You don't snore.
That's the only time I snore is if I'm sick.
That's true.
If I have a stuffy nose.
That's true.
My nose is stuffy.
But the end of the thing is they're arguing, and they just storm away from each other. And so trouble with our perfect couple, our 3 weeks running perfect couple, bam, drama.
It's not good. Drama also comes when Jimmy Cooper opens the door with a mysterious gift from a secret admirer. Of course, it's Haley, even though we're not supposed to know who it is, but it's Haley.
It's definitely Haley.
Because that was on the previously
who
on.
Who could it be?
But hey, Haley got him some cookies.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
Seth then shows up at Summer's, and it's the first time we've gotten to see her bedroom. It's
purple. It's not pink. It's purple.
It's pink. It's
purple.
It's extremely pink.
It's lavender.
It is not.
Yes, it is.
I'm really worried about you. It's very pink.
I'm very worried about you.
So I think it's funny because like we see like this original, like, so she's looking it up now. Summer was this like socialite princess character established at first. She's kind of moved away from that, but I think it's interesting that her bedroom still kind of supports that, even though she now is hanging out in the lounge playing Galaga on a video game machine. I don't understand what you're doing right now. Are you going to find a picture of her bedroom on Google?
Supposedly? I can't tell if that's her room or not.
Is
that her room?
That's her room. And what color is it, Elise?
It's lavender.
It's pink. You're lying.
I think this is the controversy of the dress. Once more, Scott.
Sure.
Blue and black, or what was the other one?
Can we go to the most important thing that's going to happen in this bedroom? Not the color of its walls, but what happens in it.
Hello, sunshine.
We see that Summer has a horse, too. It's a My Little Pony horse. She calls Princess Sparkle. And I think Princess Sparkle and Mr. Oats
Captain
are going to get whatever. And then, so the most dramatic moment of the scene, and will you do the cheesy music for me as I...
Hello, sunshine.
No, that's not it's before that. It's like the cheesy dramatic music. Where he says, it's not like, now that me and Anna broke up, I'm now choosing you. Because the whole reason we broke up is because for me, it's always been you, Summer. It's always been you. I tried to fight it. I've tried to deny it, and I can't. I can't do it. You're undeniable.
I don't understand why you made Seth's voice so deep.
I don't know. Because like Seth's voice is basically my voice, except
maybe higher?
A little bit higher. So I don't...
No, not like that. Not nasally.
It's a little nasally.
Anyways, she kisses him, and then all of a sudden, Summer just pounces him, Scott.
Does.
She just gets right on top of that, and then she just starts taking off all his clothes.
She just gets right on top of that, and then she gets right on top of that.
Yeah.
And she takes off her shirt, and now the song that you wanted to sing.
Hello, sunshine.
Come into my life.
It's
this is
kind
by
of
the
funny.
Super Furry Animals, and then we cut to a beautiful picture.
I'm
of
sorry. There's a band called Super Furry Animals.
Yeah, and they sung a song called Hello, sunshine.
What else has the super furry animals
I don't
done?
know. I don't know.
One-hit wonders.
I've never heard of them.
Bummers.
And then we cut to a beautiful sun setting as Summer is... They're
Her
banging.
sun
They're
sets.
banging.
Yeah.
But then we cut... So this is a big deal. Seth and Summer, babe.
It's a big deal.
They just banged.
Bangtown.
Bangtown.
Real quickly.
Population...
Can we just talk about Scott's reaction as this was happening?
What was my reaction?
Because Scott was on the couch, he was watching, and all of a sudden he goes, wait, no, they're not gonna. Nuh-uh. No, they're not gonna. They wouldn't do, no. And then when it happened, he just like got super giddy and just wouldn't stop laughing.
Because they did. I was excited.
So
babe.
shocked.
This is a big deal.
Yeah.
They had sex before Coop and Ryan had sex.
They
That's crazy.
They did.
But we cut
And also before another couple.
Yeah, we cut weirdly enough from this scene of young love to
A mixture of old and young love.
Luke. We go to Julie Cooper's and there's a knock on Julie Cooper's door, and who could it be but
Boop, boop, boop.
it's Luke. We talked about this last week. They started laying the seeds of this attraction. Luke is obviously very clearly confused about the way he feels because he's not sure why he's here. He like says he's going to pick up a book for Marissa or something, but she doesn't live there anymore.
And
then
he knows that.
He ends up offering to give her a ride to the singles gala tomorrow. Yeah. She turns him down because she is an adult and he is 16, 17 at best, right? He could be 17.
If we're just going to be lenient,
Yeah.
sure. Maybe he has an early birthday.
Yeah.
So, Summer and Seth, while they've done the deed, it didn't go as great as I think either of them had expected it to go.
Nor me.
Or Scott.
It's great because this is like an overhead shot. It's the two of them laying naked in bed. They're got covers on, of course, but it's just the super awkward shot where they're like 2 inches. They're not touching each other. They're just sitting in bed, like very uncomfortable. It didn't go well. It didn't go well, babe.
No, it didn't.
Well, when it's your first time, it doesn't. But it's only one of their first times.
Right, Scott?
We don't need to be coy about this. The big reveal of this episode is Summer was a virgin too, and we'll talk about that later. But I think it's fun when we went back and watched the episode again, knowing that information.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fun to see the ways in which she reacts to this stuff. As in like knowing that she's a virgin, like her reaction to this stuff makes a lot more sense to why she's so uncomfortable. Like you first read it as she's just disappointed in his performance, but it's actually like it was a big deal for her too, and she's just weird and didn't know how to feel about it.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. Someone else who's weird and doesn't know how to feel about the relationship. Ryan.
I built a transition for you into the script and you ignored it for your own.
Yep. Speaking of sex.
There we go.
Marissa walks into the pool house with a single rose and I love you and a hankering for some pankering.
See, if you would read the script ahead of time, you wouldn't. Maybe it's better that you
hankering for some pankering.
What? Is that not what they call it these days?
Nope.
Yeah, so she wants to have sex. She wants everything to go back to normal, and she feels like she's
Which
sorry.
that wouldn't be normal because that's not part of their normal.
Well, no, but she feels like she owes him something, and therefore...
Well, that, like... Don't feel like you owe him something, and so that's just what you're gonna do.
Yeah, exactly. That's why Ryan's like, no.
Smart boy.
He turns her down, and she goes away. So not looking good for that relationship at all.
So the next morning, Seth, he's got some news for Ryan. Seth's a man now.
And not just in the bar mitzvah kind of way.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
In the he did the deed sort of way.
I love this moment on Ryan's face when Seth tells him that he had sex with Summer. There is this like look of surprise, but like genuine happiness on Ben McKenzie's face when he hears this news. And I think like these past few episodes, we've seen Ryan in such a shitty place, right? Mm-hmm. We've seen him either the person that no one believes, no one's listening to, he's sabotaging his relationship, or he's reeling from it. We haven't seen Ryan happy in a long time. And
that's true.
He's not very happy in this episode either. But there's this brief moment of like impressed proud happiness for his brother here, and I really liked it. I really liked it a lot.
Yeah, well, Seth needs some advice from his bro who's more experienced, because there are just a lot of things that Seth felt like happened that he should have not done. He had some faces, some noises. He felt as though he was a fish flopping around on dry land. He was Nemo and he just wanted to go home.
It's great. I feel like, I mean, and this is a Josh Schwartz episode, right? He wrote this episode. And I feel like because Seth is kind of the insert character, when Josh Schwartz writes Seth, he's at the top of his game.
Because I feel like Josh Schwartz is Seth.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Seth's dialogue in this whole episode is just fantastic. I love it. And what's Ryan's advice for Seth here?
Do it again.
Do it again. That's how you just got to do it again.
Do it again.
Just do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
Do it again.
Do it.
You gotta get back on that Princess Sparkles.
We cut. Jesus.
What?
We cut away from the two boys discussing the sex to the two girls, Summer and Marissa, sitting on the beach.
You're getting so good at this.
It's February. It's February, and they're sitting on the beach, and it makes me hate Southern California because I wish I lived there.
I mean, it was 70 and sunny on Christmas here.
Touche. But we still wouldn't be sitting on the beach. So Marissa basically is making up a lie, right? She's saying, we decided that we were going to wait, and then we hear Summer say, I wish we had waited. And this is one of those moments that, like, you think she's just dissatisfied with the sex. She probably is. It was probably bad sex.
Or that she just moved that relationship too fast.
Right. Yeah. Like coming from a person that we know later as a virgin saying, I wish we had waited, makes sense. And I like, this is really fascinating to me because all throughout this episode, both Seth and Summer together and independently are talking about how bad the sex was. But Seth has this image of who Summer is that he's like, I'm disappointing her. It's my fault. All this is on me. And Summer is always just like, it was bad. And she's not blaming anyone. Like later when she's limping because he kneed her in the leg. She says, love hurts, while he's saying, like, I'm no match for her. And I think that's really cute that, like, she's not putting any of this on him. It's all him doing it to himself. And I think that's delightful. And I love Summer as a character so much.
She's so great.
Yeah.
The other character that we love so much is Sandy. And so Seth goes to Sandy to have a father-son talk about girl stuff.
And it's my favorite scene in all 19 episodes of the show so far.
So Seth says that we need to have the talk.
And Sandy's like, sure.
So they sit across from each other on the table, and everyone is awkward.
It's so awkward.
Sandy doesn't know what to do. Seth doesn't believe that he's there. Some questions are asked, and
he's teaching his son about foreplay, massaging, nibbling the neck, that kind of stuff. So, okay. I've had the talk with my father before, as I'm sure you've had the talk with your mother or your father.
Okay.
It wasn't like this. That's for damn sure. And I just want to say something. One day, when I have a son or a daughter, I'm going to have the talk with them. And I can guarantee...
You're going to make it go exactly like this.
Well...
Sandy Cohen is a model.
What I'm not going to do is talk about foreplay with my child. Now, look, I am of the opinion that people are going to have sex eventually. And if you, are, strict outlaw, it's just going to make kids rebel and want to do it more and do it unsafely. So I'm not going to just be like, you are not... But I'm also not going to be like, yeah, man, you got to,
nibble the neck.
Nibble. No fucking way. Oh my God. It's the weirdest thing in the world.
We Cohens are very sexual beings.
No, I'm not. If you ever hear me say we Dailies are very sexual beings with my child, I have been body snapped.
I'm sorry. I'll be choking on the floor and you'll be calling 911 shortly after, and I will take all of the attention onto me.
As awkward as this whole conversation was, and how I never want to do this, Sandy Cohen is amazing here. Because the end of the conversation is, he says, hey, Seth, You mind telling me who it is you slept with? Was it Summer? Oh, you dog, you. He's got this look of pride in his face.
You dog, you.
It's so wonderful.
I think that's
my
the
God.
scene that, let's say, so far this season, yes, if you ever need to go back and just watch for 3 minutes of your life, something, it should be this.
It's so good.
It should be this.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I love it.
So Ryan's going and he's going to set up at the gala and he bumps into Teresa. She's working there as a caterer.
What a crazy random happenstance that was not planned at all.
Yeah, super planned. Teresa knows what she's doing.
Duh.
She's from Chino. She's got street smarts.
And she must have heard on the streets that the Ryan Coop relationship was in trouble, and she just bam. Oh, wait a minute. We knocked out one leg of the triangle. We need a new leg. My name is Teresa. The triangle leg.
Gotta keep it in that love triangle.
Yep. Back in Summer's room, which is pink, Seth is following the advice he received. He's taking Ryan's advice and trying it again. And he's taking his father's advice and trying foreplay.
To nibble the neck and to massage. Except he's not very good. I think he probably is
bad at it. He's super bad at massaging and foreplay.
Doesn't know what to do with his hands.
But it doesn't matter because Summer just tells him to shut up and stop trying to do the foreplay. She takes off her shirt and once again,
sunshine.
we cut to another sunset. So they're banging again.
Yep. So with Teresa back in the picture, Ryan has a confidant once more. Someone who really understands him because she knows his past and understands why he would have these trust issues based on what happened with Oliver. So Ryan's just really spilling his guts to Teresa, and she basically tells him that he's 100% right and that everyone else was wrong, and, you know, he's totally justified for what he did, and way to do the right thing, Ryan. And we've already heard from Scott, so we're not going to give him any more time to talk about this. But Marissa walks out, and she sees Ryan and Teresa chatting, and she gets real jealous.
Oh, yeah. She's really immediately concerned.
Yeah.
And then...
and you know what I want to talk about right now?
What do you want to talk about?
Well, I guess we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Did you put bangs?
I think... yeah, a little bit later.
There's lots of bang in this episode.
Lots of bang.
Yes.
What I want to talk about is how the scene ends, where the two girls get up from the conversation and they both walk back into the gala room, but they both try to walk through the door at the same time and bump into each other. And it's like a visual symbol of what's going on right now. And as Ryan looks on as the two girls can't seem to get through the door at the same time.
Who gets in first?
I believe it is Teresa. I believe.
Huh? I'm sure she did
Dun, dun, dun.
get in first.
If
you know what I mean.
And then we cut to like the moment before.
Ha.
I'm not listening to you anymore. We cut to the moment before the gala where the boys are together talking about how they both suck, where the girls are together talking about how they suck as well. And nobody wants to skip the event, or everybody wants to skip the event, but they can't because Ryan wants to see his friend there. And Marissa wants to go because Ryan's friend is there. And Seth wants to go because he wants to talk to Summer again. And I don't know why Summer wants to go. And then this is when bangs.
This is the bangs. Okay, Marissa got bangs. And, okay.
So what? Okay, before we go into Marissa's bangs specifically, I want your opinion on bangs generally. What is your
I wish I
hypothesis on
had
bangs?
the book that I read over the summer, Naturally Tan by Tan France.
Tan France.
Tan France had a whole chapter about hair. And it was a wonderful
But he's
chapter.
not a hair guy. That's the other one.
Oh my gosh, but he has fantastic hair.
True. But
Have you seen his hair?
Yes, I've seen his hair.
Yes. I guess you have. You watched the whole.
I
okay,
watched
so
the
it's
show.
wonderful hair. And he says in the book, he's tired of women asking him as like a friend, should I get bangs? Because the answer is always no. You should never get bangs because if you're asking, you don't really want the bangs and the bangs never really look good on you. And then you have to go through the whole thing about their bangs are growing out and you feel resentment towards me because you asked me to get the bangs and then I said no, but you got the bangs anyway. And I'm tired of hearing women say that they don't like their bangs. And I agree. No bangs.
I think bangs can look good, but I agree with you. You're rolling that dice. And
there's too much maintenance. Okay, so what happens is you cut the bangs.
Right.
And then they start to grow.
They do. That's what hair
does.
does.
So you either have to continually trim them
which sucks.
very often.
Awful.
Or you have to let them grow out. And then as you have them grow out, it's the awkward thing of like when it's too long, do you push it to the side? Do you pin it back? And it's just... That's why I've never gotten bangs. I had fringe for a while.
Gross.
Longer.
Gross.
And that was a little bit more manageable, but I always made sure that they had it long enough to where I could tuck it behind my ear. That's the key.
Long story short, Marissa's bangs.
Bad.
Awful.
Bad bangs.
Awful.
Bad choice,
And it's like
Marissa.
she got them, like it's not she got them in between episodes. She got them in the middle of this episode.
Yeah.
Where she really just got the...
Well, we noticed they were combed to the side because she realized she didn't like the bangs and she didn't want the bangs in front of her face. And then they were like, no, we can't have them pushed to the side. We have to do something with the bangs. Then...
It looks like a wig to me.
It's because they
It's bad.
straightened it. They straightened the bangs.
It's real bad. Don't do bangs.
I'm never
Don't
going to do bangs. I don't have a forehead for bangs.
Practice bangs abstinence. Not banging abstinence, but bangs abstinence.
Okay, got it.
Where were we?
Jimmy.
What about Jimmy?
Jimmy's been absent for a while. And he tracked down, or he's trying to track down.
Oh, yeah, he's finding his secret admirer, and he tracks her down. He hears... We didn't talk about this, but early in the episode, he goes and talks to Kirsten and asks how Haley's doing, and learns that sometimes she didn't leave town. She's just hiding on her friend's boat right here in the harbor. So he goes down to that harbor and finds Haley, and he invites her on a date to his new restaurant.
It's not opened yet.
Well, but he owns it, so.
Yeah. So, Julie Cooper's depressed.
She is
and
depressed.
she is going to the singles ball, but she's decided she's going to leave early. She's either going to do one of two things. She's going to drink a bottle of wine, or she's going to slit her wrists.
Which is very...
Just, like
very
two
hardcore.
things on the very opposite end of the spectrum. And, Kirsten gives her that good advice. I suggest you do the wine.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she was hoping that what's his name? Caleb was going to show up. He did not, so she's all depressed and alone on Valentine's Day. So she goes home, and we do have the scene as she walks out of the door where Luke sees her and looks very distressed and concerned for her because he cares about her.
Yeah, he doesn't want her to be alone on Valentine's Day. No one should be alone on Valentine's Day.
Indeed.
So he goes to check on Cooper, or Julie Cooper, and another Cooper goes, and she confronts Ryan. She wants to start over.
Yeah, she asks to start over. She says, hello, my name. I think this is like the fourth time they've done this. Hello, my name is Marissa Cooper thing. But he can't do it. He can't, he won't, and he walks off. Not willing to start over.
And that's okay. Forgive and forget.
Sure.
I think it's okay to forgive. I really don't think you should forget.
I don't think... Well, you won't let me talk about what I think about this, but...
Why not?
Because I think this is stupid.
Oh.
Anyway, the whole thing they're doing, and I think Sandy explains this a little bit further, that why Ryan has such bad trust issues, right? People abandon him. People leave him. People ditch him. And that's what he feels like is happening. That's what he feels like is happening, and he's freaks out about it, and he can't just push that aside. And I don't think it's fair. Like, what I want to see, and maybe we'll see it later, is Marissa say, look, I get that we can't start over. I get that things can't go back to normal. This happened, and we have to deal with it, but we can deal with it together. And that's not where we get in this episode, but maybe in the future.
Possibly.
Mm-hmm. So Seth approaches Summer.
Because he's going to take responsibility.
Yeah, he takes responsibility for the bad sex. He says he clearly isn't ready for her and that he'll try again in a couple of years, but he's throwing in the towel.
And she's so sad.
Oh my God, it's so good. The show doesn't even like draw too much attention to it. She doesn't say a word in the scene. She just lets him, but she's like heartbroken too. And of course, we figure out later is because she's as inexperienced in this stuff as he is. She doesn't know what's going on, but he's the one taking the responsibility for it, and she doesn't want this to be over.
He's so sweet.
Oh, it's so good.
Poor
it's
little
so
Seth.
good.
Poor little Sethy boy. Jimmy and Haley, they're still here. They're still there.
Yeah, they're having a
They're
romantic
having dinner.
And he wonders, Haley, you said you were going to leave. What are you still doing here? You can get stuck here. What's she still doing here? Elise? What?
I don't know. What are they both still doing here? They're not really that... Jimmy was very important at the beginning, and it's just kind of there.
I mean,
Jimmy and Haley are just kind of there.
Jimmy's opening a restaurant. That's why he's still here.
Yeah.
Haley's here because of Jimmy. She makes that very clear to him.
Okay.
And he shoots her down.
She also has no money.
He shoots her down. He says, we can't do this. And the reason we can't do this is because of Kirsten. Which is weird. Because he's still in love with her. That's
yes, but then also, I mean, that it would be weird.
No.
No. Amy March,
Huh?
Joe March. I guess it wasn't weird for them.
Weird. Spoilers for Little Women.
Okay, so Ryan bumps into Teresa again, and Teresa wants to know if Ryan's ever thinking about coming home, ever think about leaving, ever think about going to my place called the Pool House is what Ryan's going to do with Teresa, and she drives him.
Ever think about getting some bangs? That's what he asks her.
No.
Oh.
But she does kind of have bangs.
The important part is they hang out. They have this long conversation out front of the gala, and then they decide to go off together to hang out with each other.
And Marissa sees it.
She does. But before Marissa sees it, she's sitting at a table crying. She's weeping at a table at the gala, and Sandy comes over to her, and Sandy, because he's Captain fucking America, gives her the exact thing she wants to hear. Love is crazy. It's always challenging. It's never easy, but you need to not give up on Ryan because he thinks everyone is going to give up on him. So prove to him that you're not ready to do that. And of course, Kirsten overhears this speech, and therefore she's not mad at him anymore because this beautiful moment. I mean, think about this, babe. This is things that happen in television shows all the time, where two people are arguing, and then one person is having a conversation with someone else that is also kind of sort of about their argument, but then the other person overhears it, and then because they overheard it, they forgive them. Think of how much easier our fights would be if they're resolved by me just talking to someone else, and I don't even have to talk to you about it.
That's what your podcast is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do you listen to my podcast when you're mad at me and then go, oh, I love him?
No, because you never say anything about what we were discussing.
Okay, and in this week's episode of We've Got Ward, I'll talk about our fights and relate that to the book somehow.
Is it related to the book at all?
No, not at all. Unless we have fights about... I can't say anything because it'll spoil the book. Superpowers.
So there's nothing about Valentine's Day in there?
No.
Nothing about no holidays?
What about holidays?
Nothing about bangs?
No.
Okay. Well, back at the Pool House, I think we already touched on it, but Teresa and Ryan are catching up, and there's definitely some tension there.
Oh, there's some sexual tension here. Yeah, it's palpable.
Yeah.
You can palp it.
I mean, they're just laying all over the bed.
And here's my question for you.
Okay.
I think there's more sexual tension between Teresa and Ryan than there has ever been between Ryan and Marissa.
Well, they have a past.
I've never liked... I like Ryan and I like Marissa as characters, and they're the main love story of this show so far.
They're no Ross and Rachel.
Right. Or Cohen and Summer. Right?
Yeah.
Cohen and Summer have that tension, have that chemistry. I never saw it with Coop and Ryan. And when
I'd agree.
Ben McKenzie's sitting on this bed here with the woman, the Teresa, it's there. It's there. It's definitely there.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So bloop, bloop, bloop. Luke chased after Julie.
Yeah.
He's at her front door.
And then he talks about when they used to play this game called Ultimatum, aka whose mom would you bang? But she'd always win that. Who the fuck plays this game? I was a boy.
Yeah.
In my teen years.
Yeah.
We never, ever.
That sounds like a really weird game to play.
Played the game. Hey, of all our moms, which mom would you bang?
No.
What?
No.
No. Gross. Julie, though, remember, is drinking a lot of wine, and she's a little drunk A little drunk, that Julie.
She is.
And so she commits a crime.
She does. Because Luke is at best 17.
Yeah. And I looked up the age of consent in California because I was curious. It's definitely 18. So, and I don't think he's 18.
I don't think so either.
So that's a crime. Why? I have a question for you. I have a general question about these teen drama shows because you love these more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
They always do this.
Yeah, they do.
They always do the older woman and teenage boy subplot.
Do.
Why? Why do we do this so often?
I don't know.
It's so weird to me. It's one of those weird double standards, right? Where like it's still wrong, and like our characters treat it as wrong, but it's like wrong in the sexy way. Whereas if you gender
flip
gender
it
swapped
is like
it's
awful wrong.
And I think it's equally bad here, right? But it's just like society doesn't treat it that way. And this show's old. The show's, maybe we would, because Riverdale just freaking did it too, like 3 years ago. That's weird. I
think it's just, it goes along with the stereotypes.
Yeah. I mean, it's just whatever. Like, I think it's hilarious. Look, don't get me wrong. It's fucking hilarious, and I love it.
That it's Julie and Luke.
Yes.
Not
not that it's an older woman and a teenage boy. No, that's not good.
Yeah,
but
I want to make sure that you clarified that.
But that it's Julie Cooper and
Luke.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. Yes.
And her daughter's ex-boyfriend.
Yes, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Pretty gross.
Anyway.
So, Sandy and Kirsten, they get back home, and we find out that Sandy has really, gone the full
Monty?
enchilada. Full Monty. Whole enchilada.
He's naked?
Couldn't think about it. Whatever. He's decorated the whole bedroom with rose petals, candles, the largest heart-shaped box of chocolate ever.
It is massive.
He has fulfilled all of Kirsten's wildest dreams that we are allowed to see on television for Valentine's Day.
And he shoots her in the butt with a Nerf arrow.
Mm-hmm.
That's my boy right there.
And she's excited.
I knew my boy was not going to let me down.
I bet you she gets a bubble bath.
Hey, question.
Yeah.
The maid had to have lit all the candles, right? He didn't light all the candles and then leave the house to go to a gala for 2 hours.
When's the last time you saw their maid, Scott?
She comes and goes. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while.
She leaves the show. You don't really ever see her anymore.
Oh, really? She's just gone?
It's just the joke of where'd the maid go?
Well, someone lit those candles, and I hope he didn't leave them burning for 2 hours while he was out of the house.
They paid some little set.
Yeah, I'm forgetting
person.
I'm forgetting that these are rich people.
Yeah.
They're certainly not going to light their own candles.
No. Why risk fire burn?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. So, Summer. Where are we going?
Summer shows up at Seth's this time. So we've had Seth showing up at Summer's twice, and then the third beat of this connection is her coming to him this time, and then reveals that she was a virgin too. Mm-hmm. And we talked about this already, but I love the line that Seth has here again, showing that Josh Schwartz is a great writer, especially when he's putting words in his character's mouth. This was a huge moment in both our lives, and we just blew past it. I love this idea. I love this idea that they don't play like that. They don't do the sex is wrong thing, or they don't do the it's casual and whatever thing. But they seriously this was a big deal. It's a big deal for people, and the show treats it as a big deal and says we messed up, and so they decide to take things slow.
They do, and
instead of having sex again, they dance. And what song do they dance to, Elise?
Ryan Adams' Wonderwall. It's
a cover of Wonderwall.
Fantastic version of the song.
It's a good damn cover of that song. Mm-hmm. Listen to it, everyone. I would love to put I would love to put a little bit of it in this episode, but we will be immediately copyright striked. So just search Ryan Adams' Wonderwall. It's a great cover. It perfectly fits their dancing scene, and it wonderfully also, because that ends this scene, and then we transfer over to the next scene with Marissa and Ryan, and the music continues through that scene as well, and it fits for their scene, which is a completely different outcome than the other one.
Yeah, she walks in, and Ryan, he can't forgive her. It was easy for someone to come into their lives and come between him, and he doesn't know, what, if that happens again? Trust.
It all comes down to trust.
5 little letters, but one big word.
Yeah. So he says he just can't trust her, and she storms off. And so I think it's really fascinating here because at the end of this episode, Seth and Summer basically decide to start over, right? They rushed into things. They rushed into a physical, intimate relationship, and they realized that, hey, we got to take things back. Let's start over. Let's start from the beginning and date. Let's do that. And they're both willing to do that, and so they see success here. Ryan and Marissa's trying to start over. Marissa's trying to get things back to normal, to go back to the way it was, and Ryan is just unable to do that. He can't do it, and so they're done forever. That's it. That's it for. We might as well take them off the board, right? Because they're surely not going to ever get back together.
It's true. But you didn't take them off the
especially
board.
with Teresa in the picture.
You didn't take them off the board,
Well,
Scott.
I know. We don't have any That's So 2000s. Not because there weren't any, but because I forgot to put them in there. So
and I wasn't good in helping.
That's just brutal honesty from the part of your podcast
both
hosts.
of our faults.
So let's move right into relationship status.
Okay, Scott. This week, Coop and Ryan. Last week, Coop and Ryan were a 5 out of 10. Or I guess 2 weeks ago, Coop and Ryan were a 5 out of 10. Uh-oh, I think this is the biggest challenge the two have gone up against. Scott, things aren't looking good for this show's main couple. We're moving them down to a 3 out of 10.
Ooh, that's not a good look.
No, it's not a good look.
30%.
But on the other hand, Scott, how are Seth and Summer doing?
Well, last week you gave him a 6 out of 10. Seth and Summer are able to get over their awkward first sexual encounters and start this relationship off with a good foundation. A foundation of dancing to Wonderwall.
It's a good way to build it.
Things are looking extremely good on this front, Elise. We're going to give them an 8 out of 10.
That sounds good. And because things are so good on that front, we know that the Seth and Anna is definitely going to take a cut. Last week, they were 1 out of 10. Anna broke up with Seth, and she broke her way right out of the show. No Anna this week at all. Should we make this official or remove them from the list, Scott? I believe so. It is a 0 out of 10.
I think our rule has to be once we officially declare a 0 out of 10, they are gone from the list. So this is the last time we will see Seth and Anna on this list.
They are gone.
I think Elise is deleting them right now.
Deleting.
Boom.
Gone. Deleted.
Gone. All right, Sandy and Kirsten Cohen are up next, and this has been our dream couple. Last week, we gave them a 10 out of 10, and we said 2 weeks ago that couples in the OC cannot get more than 3 weeks in a row without having some difficulty, and we were right. But like the OC power couple has done in the past, they have found a way to power through and resolve their differences. I feel like giving them a perfect score this week would be a bit unfair because they did have some difficulties, but 9 out of 10, right?
They still got it going on. Yep.
They still got it going.
And we don't know how Julie Cooper is getting on with Caleb, but we did know how she was getting on with someone else. But her and Caleb, last week they were a 2 out of 10. Scott, this week, no Caleb on Valentine's Day. Uh-oh. We're going to take him down to a 1 out of 10.
Interesting. A 1 out of 10, not a 0 out of 10.
Not a 0
so
out
we're
of 10.
not ready to write them off just yet.
No,
You know why?
just
You know
yet.
why we're not ready to write them off?
Because you know what's going to happen later in the show.
I do. However, outside of me knowing what's going to happen later in the show, there's a love triangle. As long as that triangle exists, there's hope.
There is hope.
You know, you got to give it to Julie Cooper, though. She goes from man old enough to be her father to man old enough to be her son. That's a hell of a swing.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a swing.
It's true.
All right, up next we have Haley Nickel and Jimmy Cooper. Last week we gave them a 1 out of 10, and I was questioning why the hell they were even on this list, but hey, here they are again. They went on a really good date. The chemistry is undeniably still there. It's just that Jimmy's undying love for Haley's older sister still is kind of in their way. Still a better week than they've had in a long time.
It's good.
So I'm going to give them a 4 out of 10.
Sounds good, Scott.
All right.
Yep.
That is it.
All right. So what do you think is going to happen next week?
Next week is an episode called The Telenovela.
Yeah.
Which is a Spanish soap opera.
Uh-huh. So what do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think there's going to be... Okay, stop it. There's clearly going to be some Luke and Julie Cooper drama, because that is very Spanish soap opera-y, that there would be drama with statutory rape in it. Yay. That's what it is, Elise. That's what it is. Don't rub your face.
Don't make a joke about it.
I'm just stating facts.
Okay.
There's gonna be some drama. Do you think? I wonder if Anna's gonna come back because Anna was she was back in Pittsburgh for the week. That's where she was last week, conveniently. I wonder if she comes back and sees, because I'm assuming that Seth and Summer will out themselves as a couple next week. And if Anna's around, that's gonna be awkward.
That might be awkward.
Maybe that's soap opera-y drama.
It
awkward.
might be.
Interesting. That's a telenovela, though. Oh, you know why? It's Teresa. It's Teresa. There's gonna be some. Of course. There's Teresa drama, and it's okay. That I know that I don't even need to watch.
You
the
just needed to
episode
talk it
anymore.
out a little bit more, and then you figured it out.
Sometimes the brain needs a little bit of time to.
I think my
turn
brain
over.
needs a little bit of time.
All right, that is all we have for you this week. If you like this podcast, you can check it and all the other shows we do over at our website, doofmedia.com.
Also consider donating to our Patreon at patreon.com/doofmedia.
/.
And if you happen to be listening via Apple Podcasts, you can go ahead and head on over there to drop us a rating and review. We love all those 5-star ratings.
We do love those 5-star ratings, and we will read them out loud, or at least Elise will, and she'll be funny about it because that's what she does, folks. All right, guys. Have a happy new year, everyone, and we'll see you next week in the year 2020.
2020.
Farewell from the OC. Bitch.